Hi friends, welcome back to PSDESIRE. In this video, I will show you a cool technique to make eyes look bigger and more lively in Photoshop. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that using the LIQUIFY tool might not give you the most natural looking results, especially while reshaping or enlarging eyes. It can often make the eyes look a bit artificial, which is not what we want. But don't worry, I will show you an alternative method that will give you more realistic and natural looking eyes. So let's dive in. We will be using this image we have here for the demonstration. Alright, let's get started with the first step. First, we will begin by duplicating the background layer so that we have the backup of the original image. Then we will head over to the filter menu and select the liquify option. In here, I'm going to increase the eye size using the tools provided here. However, I have noticed that this can often make the eyeball look a bit unnatural and artificial, which is not the look we are going for. So let's cancel this and try another method that will give us much better results. First, we will need to grab the lasso tool from the toolbar. Once you have got that, zoom in a little bit so you can see the details around the eyes more clearly. Next, use the lasso tool to make a selection around the eyes. Make sure to include the eyelashes as well. We need to work on the eyes without affecting any other part of the image. Now let's say there are some areas that you accidentally included in the selection that you don't want to work on. Simply hold down the Alt key and use the lasso tool to draw around those areas. This will subtract those areas from the selection. On the other hand, if there are some areas that you want to add to the selection, just hold down the Shift key and draw around those areas using the lasso tool. This will add those areas to the selection. Okay, now it's time to smoothen the selection. To do this, let's press the Q key, which will get us into the quick mask mode. You will notice that the colored areas are now selected while the red areas are not selected. Now we want to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You can increase the blur amount to make the selection smoother. Just make sure it doesn't go into the eyelashes or any other part of the eye. I think around 18 pixels looks good. Once you have adjusted the blur, simply click OK to proceed. This will blur the selection and create a smoother transition between the selected and unselected areas. Okay, alright. Now we can proceed to the next step. Press Ctrl or Command plus J to make the separate layer for the selected eye. After creating a separate layer for the eye, we need to transform it to make it bigger. To do this, we use the shortcut Ctrl plus T or Command plus T. However, before we start transforming the eye, it's essential to adjust the anchor point properly. The anchor point is the reference point for transformations and it should be placed at the center of the eye, not the eyeball but the center of the eye. This is crucial to ensure that the transformation looks realistic and natural. So let's take our anchor point and place it here at the center of the eye. Once we have adjusted the anchor point, we can now start transforming the eye to make it bigger. Simply press and hold Shift and Alt key or Shift or Option key if you are using the Mac, then drag the handle to make it bigger. Now while you are making it bigger, just let's look at the numbers here. Look at the width and the height. Make sure you keep the percentages in mind so that now percentage is around 110%. Just keep that in mind. Once you are ready with that, hit enter. So once you are done with the enlarging the first eye, it's time to move on to the other eye. To do this, you will repeat the same process of making a selection around the eye with the lasso tool. Just make a rough selection around the eye. After making a selection around the eye with the lasso tool, please enter quick mask mode by pressing Q key. This will allow you to see which areas of the image are selected and which are not. Once you are in quick mask mode, go to the filter menu and select Gaussian blur. Set the blur radius to 18 pixel and then click OK. This will blur the selection and create a smoother transition between the selected and unselected areas. After applying the Gaussian blur filter, press the Q key again to exit the quick mask mode and return to the regular selection. Now press Ctrl or Command plus J to create this selection into a separate layer for the second eye. Now Ctrl or Command plus T, take the anchor point to the center of the eye. When you are transforming the eye layer, press and hold the Shift and Alt key or Shift and Option key for Mac users to maintain the aspect ratio and expand the eyes symmetrically from the center. Make sure you increase the size only up to 110%, which is the percent we kept in mind earlier. Once you are done, hit enter. You can always adjust the position of the eye by selecting the Move tool and dragging the layer to the desired location. To make the corners of the eyes appear more realistic, we need to create a mask. Click on the Layer Mask button located at the bottom of the Layers panel. Select the Brush tool from the toolbar and make sure that black is the foreground color. Now increase the brush size and start painting over the areas that need to be erased. To avoid over erasing, set the flow of the brush to a lower value. Around 20% should be good. Make sure to select the mask before painting. This way you will be able to easily adjust the areas you have painted. Start painting at the edges of the eyes to bring back the hair and other features that may have been erased while enlarging the eyes. Keep adjusting the position and size of the eyes until you get the desired result. You can also shape the eye layer using the warp. If you want to warp the layer, now press Ctrl or Command plus T to transform the layer. Right click on it and select warp. This will give you the ability to adjust the shape of the layer. Once you are done warping, hit enter. Let's group the layers. To group the two layers, you can select the both layers by holding down the Ctrl or Command key and clicking on the layer thumbnail in the layers panel. Then right click on one of the layers and select group layers from the drop down menu. Now you can see the difference you made in the image by enlarging the eyes and making other adjustments. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I really hope it was helpful for you. If you found it useful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you never miss any future tutorials. I appreciate your support and I can't wait to bring you more helpful content in the future. Till then, stay tuned and keep editing.